Hello everybody. I want to thank William for having me on his channel. I appreciate you including me. I really love this community. It really makes me feel loved. You know, in a world when it's hard to feel like people understand you, that's what YouTube autism community does for me. It makes me feel like I have a place to belong, and so I'm grateful for chances like this to tell my story, and hopefully others will connect in somehow. And I've got a list of questions here and I'm going to answer those. Welcome to my studio. This is as good as it gets for me. So my name is Jenny and I have a channel called Autistic Jenny. And I have been making videos for 2 years. I am a 51-year-old woman with a husband named Jeff, and I have 2 children, Christian and Chelsea. I have 4 grandchildren, Alexis, Connor, Jacob, and Elliot. And I have a part-time job and a part-time Etsy shop, a hobby that keeps me busy, which is making videos and making content creations, and which is what I really enjoy doing. I was diagnosed at the age of 48. It was really a shock for me. It was a happy shock. It's taken me a long time to get where I feel okay since diagnosis, from the roller coaster of emotions I have had during this time to get to a place of understanding. So I'm going to talk about if this process was easy or hard for me as far as getting diagnosed. I feel like it was hard for me because all of these years I lived just coping the best I could, thinking that I was so different from everybody and not understanding why. And so it's been hard because of that. So what really led me to go and get a diagnosis was I was researching different things to see where my daughter fit, because I felt like after going through information about her childhood and thinking over it, and I felt like she might have been autistic. And so I went on YouTube, watching YouTube videos like a lot of us do that are curious if we're autistic, and that whole process just really led me to go for my first evaluation. So I went in 2017 at the age of 43. I had a whole series of testing done only for it to come back as her diagnosing me with social anxiety disorder or an intersocial phobia with a future rule out of social communication disorder. But I really felt like that was just wrong. She had gotten some of the tests wrong as far as who answered them and put the wrong. When she was going over the assessment with me, she didn't even get it right, and she had to write it on there as we were having the assessment. She didn't add my scores in on the social responsiveness scale. Such scores were strongly associated with a clinical diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder, but she didn't diagnose me with it. And she felt like I just couldn't be autistic because I had one friend, that one friend of mine. And so therefore I'm not autistic. I really think, and maybe it's not her fault, maybe it's her training, that she just didn't understand autism in women. And I just went on about life. I just moved on, just thinking, well, I guess there's nothing really that wrong with me. But I just felt like she was wrong deep down. So opportunity came about again. I decided to go for it again because things were getting so bad in my life at work, where I was having so many questioning situations arise of how I was handling things and not able to handle things. And I thought, well, I'll just try again. I went to a different place. So I went to a licensed psychologist who did the testing. She didn't reorder every single test because I'd already had all the tests done. She just redid a couple tests. So I went in there not masking. I dropped the entire mask. She noted just from talking to me that I had a lot of intonation in my speaking, which is monotone talking. And she also noted that my facial expressions appeared limited. And I really also had trouble communicating my connection with other people. And she very easily gave me that diagnosis of ASD, autism spectrum disorder. So I'm going to say it was hard to get diagnosed until I saw the right psychiatrist. Then it was easy. And when I dropped the mask, it was easier. So here's some advice for you if you are thinking about going and getting tested. Don't go in with a mask. So what are some of my autistic traits that other people might notice? I do stim a lot, but I think in today's world, people that deal with anxiety and stuff or have ADHD, maybe move around a lot. I just don't think it's noticeable in today's world. Although it's noticeable to me because I'm doing it, other people don't notice. And I'm noticing now when I'm more likely to stim. When I'm happy or anxious, I'm going to stim more. Others probably don't notice I have sensitivities to sound. I had a situation today where somebody was trying to tell me something at work, and we were out in the open and other people were talking and there was background mumbling going on, and I just couldn't focus on what she was saying. So I was just shaking my head yes to what she was saying, not understanding what she was saying though, because my mind can't handle getting so many different types of stimuli when I'm trying to focus on what someone's saying. Other people are not aware I do that because I'm so good at hiding that. Other people might not think I'm autistic because I'm good at masking. At least I think I am. Other people might tell me differently that I'm not. But I have a constant mask on parts of my day when I'm at work or go in public in general, as much as I can handle it, as I'm trying to learn to drop it. And a script. There's always this script that follows me around of what to say to people. So because of those reasons, I think people would not assume that I was autistic. My autism is a strength for me because I can hyper-focus on things I want to do, and I can stick to it until I get it done. That is one of the things I love about autism, is my ability to focus. And I think I've created some wonderful things in my life that I've been very proud of, like an Etsy shop where I make digital downloads. So that's something that makes me feel proud because it took hours upon hours of focusing my attention and energy to all of the things I created, to the dismay of my family, who would say I was working too hard and too much and they wanted my attention. So that's when it's a challenge for me. That's a challenge. When I am focused in something I want to do, and if someone's trying to take my attention away, I can feel agitated and upset and mad about it, and I have to try not to, knowing that that's how I respond. My autism is challenging because of my social anxiety, which is a part of it. It can be crippling for me. I've had some really bad social phobias happen to me in a couple of social events I've had over the last year that just left me just about broken, to never wanting to go to another social event again. And I've really had to work on healing from that and realizing it's okay to not go if I can't handle it that day, and realizing I've got to give myself some grace, and that if family loves me, they will understand and be willing to understand that I'm not able to handle it. So how has my faith been a resource and help both before and after my diagnosis? I would say that I've always felt like I've had God in my life. I was raised in a family where I went to church, and I wanted to be a part of that. What I like about religion for me is it brings hope and peace. I think if I didn't have that, I would be so much more of a wreck or mess than I am now. I think that God calms me in the times I really need it. And if I'm ever going through a breakdown of any sort, I feel like after a few minutes of that anguish, when I pray, I feel like God comes to my rescue. Call it a guardian angel he sends, I don't know, but I can feel a calm and peace come over me, and that's something I feel like having a relationship with God brings for me that I'm so grateful for. I want to thank you for having me, William, on your channel. I've enjoyed talking about this. Thank you, everybody, so much. Maybe I'll see you on my channel sometime. Thanks for listening to this interview.
I'm William O'Flaherty. Thanks for visiting my channel. Please consider liking and or sharing this video. Also, feel free to comment and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and watch other videos.